Do you promise you'll come back to me in one piece, KO?
Of course, Mom. I promise.
Let's go.
GameNChick Gaming.
Hello once again, my chickadees. GameNChick is back once again with another review. Before we get started, I'd like to give a big thank you to the folks over at Tate Multimedia for providing me with a review copy to make this review possible. So now with that having been said, let's go! The Kangaroo is a reboot sequel that continues the franchise's long 20-year history in the gaming market. Developed and published by Tate Multimedia, the developers now aim to both improve the franchise up to modern-day standards, but also keep together all the core reasons why people became attached to this franchise to begin with. But did they succeed in their attempt, or should this bouncy mascot have stayed down under? Only one way to find out, so let's hop, hop, hop! What do you say? Story. Join KO in an epic story as he searches for his missing father and sister, while also learning about himself along the way. Master ancient elemental powers alongside your magical boxing gloves, and help save the world from evil that has taken over parts of the world. Gameplay. KO the Kangaroo is one of the many platforming games in recent years that has gotten its second chance to shine. Much like in the same vein of franchises like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. Those titles seemingly fell into obscurity after the passing years, but many to our surprise got resurrected via a couple of remasters, with Crash Bandicoot himself actually getting his own sequel. Come on, be honest. You can't tell me you saw that coming. Well, that's kind of a lie. I mean, remember when Sony teased us at their E3 conference, only for them to be like, "Oh, wait, you wanted a Crash sequel? Nope. Here he is in Skylanders, you're welcome." That ticks so many people off. I think the only gaming moment that topped that to this day is when Diablo's Immortal was announced for mobile instead of a PC Diablo game. And they just told us all, "What, don't you guys have phones?" Oh, yes, I have a phone, but you are also about to get my boot to your booty while we're at it. Okay, sorry, we're moving on. We need to actually get into KO the Kangaroo now, don't we? So we better get to it before Adam Sandler yells at us to turn off our Dan Kangaroo show because he wanted to watch hockey.
Alright!
Remember when I said that this franchise was 20 years old? Did you believe me? Well, I hope for these poor little crab's sakes in this game that you did believe me. Because for every fact I give out in this review that you don't believe on, well, I'm taking it out on them. Starting with you. See what you made me do? This is on you guys, not me. Upon starting your game, you're introduced to the main character KO, who is giving chase to his sister Kea in a dreamlike environment. He's trying to catch up to her, and as soon as he does, a mysterious evil makes its presence known and kidnaps her before his very eyes. Waking up shocked and in a panic, KO tells his mom that he thinks his dad and sister are in trouble and he needs to save them. His mom is confused. Heck, I would be too if someone just woke up from a nap and told me that they were in a dream world chasing their sister who gets kidnapped by an ancient evil. Bro, have a Snickers. You're nuts when you're hungry. But kidding aside, KO's mom tells him that if he's truly worried, then he must seek out Walt, a master of fighting. Maybe he has the answers he seeks. KO thinks that this is a great idea and thanks his mom and sets out on his adventure. Now this is where the game truly starts to get going, and just like Anakin Skywalker says, this is where the fun begins. And he's absolutely 100% correct on that assumption. Don't believe me? What did I literally just tell you like just 1 minute ago about believing me? Okay, that's strike two. KO the Kangaroo, at its very core, is a classic 3D platformer in the same category of titles like Banjo, Mario, and Crash Bandicoot. But while those platformers rose to stardom and popularity, KO on the other hand is the lesser-known platformer overall. Why is that? Honestly, I'm not really sure. With the exception of the original KO the Kangaroo game in 2000, the entries that have followed it have been relatively solid. I literally feel like the only person who was legit hyped when this title got announced, which was sort of embarrassing. It's like being the only person to clap in a room full of awkwardness.
are great. When is your violin concert?
June 15th.
But history and embarrassment aside, does this game improve on the previous game's formula, or even the platforming genre itself after all these years? Well, yes and no. It does improve on its own historic roots, absolutely. But does it move the genre of platforming forward to new heights? Absolutely not. But it doesn't have to. The basic idea of this game is simple. There are dark gates inhabiting 4 to 5 sections of the game, and in order to rid the evil from that area, you must go inside each gate, complete your objective, take out the main baddie, and boom, you're done. Pretty simple, right? Oh yeah, it's super simple, but that doesn't mean that it's just a straight shot to the end and poof, you're done. Nope. Previously, I had said that this game was like Banjo, Mario, and Crash, and yes, that is pretty much true. But out of all of those titles, it leans heaviest into the Banjo and Crash influences as far as its hub worlds, areas, and overall art direction are concerned. Don't worry, now it's time to fully explain all the game mechanics, areas, and collectibles. Collectibles? Oh yes, this is a collectathon. When adventuring your way through KO the Kangaroo, much like other collectibles in the past, you will be tasked to go through 4 different hub worlds, and each of those 4 hub worlds, minus the last hub world of the game, having 3 different levels to play through. Well, 4 if you include the boss fight, and that takes place in each of them. These hub worlds are Hapaloo Island, which is an extremely beautiful tropical beach village where KO and his people live. In Hapaloo Island, this is where you see the art direction really shine, and where you can see the Crash 4 inspiration on Mask itself. Both KO and Crash 4 use a very similar art style, toon-like with some amazing colors. It fits KO the Kangaroo perfectly. I literally spent like half an hour just exploring the first hub area because it's actually pretty big, and I was pleasantly surprised all the way. Just being able to stand and look out over the ocean is really great, and being able to hang out by the fire with your crab buddy is just fun, and wait a second. I thought I told you to get the dang firewood, you stupid crab. What is wrong with you? I'm sorry, where was I? Oh yes, the areas. Aside from Hapaloo, you also have the hungry jungle that's filled with large trees, plants, and even monkeys. Oh no. Monkeys? I still haven't gotten over my PTSD from fighting Kong in Call of Duty Warzone, and now you throw monkeys at me? Okay, just breathe. In and out. Okay, we're good. This is also an extremely amazing looking area that makes you just want to stand around and enjoy the sights. Are you noticing the trend here? Beach, jungle, and what's next? That's right, frozen mountains. If you've played through enough platformers throughout your lifetime, then you know that there's always a set pattern of levels each game goes through. Beach, jungles, ice levels, fire, caves, etc. And that does not change here. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll circle around to that after we dip into the game's mechanics and its characters. The core gameplay for KO is not exactly complex. As you plow through each level looking for runes to collect in order to unlock new areas locked behind dark gates, some gates that take anywhere from 5 runes to even 48 runes in order to unlock, you will be given your basic fundamental attacks and ways to move about in your environment. Using square to melee, you can pull off a quick 3-hit combo, and when your gloves from punching are charged up enough, which is usually after 5 to 6 punches, you can unleash your special ground pound attack using triangle. This is extremely helpful should you be in a fight versus a multitude of enemies at once, or to give yourself time to make a quick getaway. Alongside your basic melee attacking, you'll have the tried and true double jumping, which can be mixed in conjunction with circle to unleash a powerful ground pound that can destroy boxes or even stun your opponents for a limited amount of time should you need to use it. I know what you're thinking.
That sounds pretty boring.
I mean, it is basic, yes, but it's definitely not boring, especially when obtaining glove powers. Not the power glove with awesome powers like Freddy and Nightmare on Elm Street used. No, but just as cool. As you progress through the game further, you'll come across different elements to use for your gloves such as fire, ice, and wind, and each of these elements allowing you to interact with the world itself, puzzles, and opening up secret paths that lead to hidden treasures and other collectibles along the way. If there's one thing this game is not lacking, it's content and variety, that's for sure. There's way more to it than meets the eye, and we haven't even begun to cover the game's overall creative nature with its individual levels. Hang on, don't worry, we're getting to it. But first I want to get into more of the characters and other aspects of this title that make it overlooked, that give this game a huge amount of charm. Besides the visuals of the game, which are superb, a lot of the game's charm has to go to the in-game characters and the enemy types that you encounter through your roughly 7 to 8 hour journey. When you begin your journey, you meet Walt, who is basically this game's master Shifu from Kung Fu Panda. Walt makes you go through training and endurance fights to prove that you have what it takes to save the world. Fight hard and prove to him that you're worthy. Say, Sensei, I think I did pretty good. What you think, Master? Oh, a 4? Hey, that's not bad. Wait, out of 10? Okay. Never mind, Master. You're a freaking jerk. Aside from Walt showing you the ropes and KO watching him kick complete butt, you meet other awesome characters like KO's mom, who literally pulls out an arrow in the knee joke. She's totally played Skyrim. I mean, she would kind of have to, right? It's literally on every single console in known existence at this point. After visiting KO's mom, you can then find a lady in the house at the top of the village who has some really great paintings along her wall and some, very questionable ones. Yeah, she's a total pervert.
Hey man, how would you like some premium paintings?
Go away, you stupid perverted crab! You can also meet a new friend named Gadget, who is a pelican that specializes in creating new and exciting inventions to help you on your journey, such as letting you use his airship to get you from hub world to hub world. He's pretty cool, but it always feels like he's hiding something. It always makes you want to tell him, "Hey bro, what's that on your back?" Cause he's always being very sneaky about his work. Hey, Gadget, what you got there, buddy? Well, nothing.
Fiddlesticks.
But probably the weirdest character of all is KO himself. Why? Well, because he's the happy-go-lucky, really cringe main character. Don't get me wrong, I think he's great, but some of his lines are really, really corny. Like when he's pumping himself up to take on the challenges ahead, and he's just all like,
I came here to kick your butt and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of gum.
and I'm just like, oh god, KO, no, you're fired. All the characters I just named are from the first few hub sections too. This doesn't even count the dozens more characters like barrel-rolling monkeys, goats in the frozen mountains, and other preceding areas. But with you now knowing the basic collecting method and how to compete in each area, some characters that inhabit them, what of the actual enemies? You know, that's kind of important for a game, especially platformers. Well, I'm happy to say that enemy types are actually pretty good, and they mostly fit in directly with the overall world's theme they're a part of. When meleeing and jumping your kangaroo booty through lava caves and dodging fire hazards, talking to your eternal gloves about what to do next, finding bells for checkpoints just in case you suck and die, solving puzzles such as using lasers and mirrors to blow up a machine to get a special winch for Gadget, using your fire power to make platforms move up by stomping or burning down spider webs, ice powers to freeze blocks so they can slide into a new section, using wind powers to pull objects towards you. While you're doing all that, you will be fighting for your life versus a great amount of baddies. These baddies range from miniature crabs that rush you and bite your ankles, stinkers who fly above you to attack and literally fart as they do so, which may or may not have made me laugh due to my immaturity. Goats that have machine gun cannons that shoot sheep at you. Wait, what? Hang on. Okay, I had that correct. That is accurate. Literal goats shooting sheep. I've seen it all now. You will also run into flying monkeys in the sub-levels of the Hungry Jungle that will throw coconuts at you, but luckily by using your jump and tail attacks with X and Square, when timed right, you can send their projectiles right back at them into their stupid ugly hairy faces. It feels great to do. Get out of here, monkey! But my personal favorite enemies in the game, besides the boss fights like Terror in Hapalu Village, who shoots tornadoes at you, Jayabaya in the Hungry Jungle, who uses his strength to try to overpower you, or Oldie in the Frozen Mountains who uses her power of duplication to fool you, even out of all those bosses and enemies, my favorite has to be the baddies located in the Dark Forest. I have to admit, I didn't expect it when I started playing, but as I searched through the forest, I heard music in the distance, and when I finally got there, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was the Battletoads! Holy crap, I'm a huge fan. They were throwing a killer concert. But sorry boys, I'm on a schedule, so I killed them all and their froggy friends. Good stuff! Now, I still have a few more things that I need to talk about before we wrap this up that relates to the extra in-game content, but that will be in my usual extra stuff section that follows this one. However, before I get to that, I think I need to air some of my grievances. I don't have many, and they aren't that huge, but I like to be as transparent as possible when giving my opinion on things. There's always good and bad in everything, no question. Wait, are you questioning me again? You remember what happened last time, don't you?
No. Wait. Wait.
That's right, that's what I thought. So anyways, the first of my gripes has to do with the jumping. Let me say it first before it gets twisted though, this game's platforming feels so damn good. Everything is responsive, fluid, and feels just as great as a Crash game or even Mario. However, where it lacks in that department is the character's jump momentum. You see, in other platformers on the market, when you jump, the momentum will carry you forward. But here in KO, when you jump, it's like all momentum stops halfway through the jump, and it takes some getting used to. Another gripe I have is sometimes the game's hitboxes and skybox detection can feel a tad bit wonky. There were times when I would jump with nothing in front of me, a clear sky or open roof, and I'd hit an invisible wall above me with no object blocking my way, and this caused me to die several times. It's a very weird bug that doesn't happen often, but when it does, it gives you a bad time. My last gripe relates to the boss fights like Jayabaya. The fight itself is fine, sure, but every now and then when he switches phases of attack, he sends enemies at you, but a lot of the time the enemy AI completely shuts off and they stand there motionless like they're Kanye West trying to show that they have no emotion. Even when attacking them, it's like, come on, do something! It's annoying, but not game-breaking. Extra stuff. When you've kicked the main game's butt and saw all its variety that it offers you, like sliding on rails like you're Sonic, using your big old ears to shimmy across platforms, using your eternal rope power to swing from one platform to another, you can then take part in collecting everything there is in the game, which can boost your 8-hour game time to roughly 10 or 11 hours of additional fun. Take part in Eternal Wells that are hidden throughout the game, which are small endurance stages that test your wits and combat ability, collect Kopedia scrolls that give you information about all the treasure in the game you collect all 50 runes in the game just to have them all, find and obtain all KAO letters hidden behind secret paths and entrances, sort of like Donkey Kong or Bart vs. the Space Mutants, where you have to spell out Maggie. Purchase extra lives, heart pieces, and styling clothes for KO to wear, including a skin of his retro model from 2000, which looks super funky but really awesome. You can also talk to Walt about collecting all the blue crystals in the game that you find in each minigame Eternal Well, or even across each section of every level. You know, it's rather ironic. This master's name is Walt, and collecting involves blue crystals. I better not hear one word of him telling me, "It's time to cook," or "I'm out of here." Yo, Mr. White. I've collected all the blue crystals you wanted. This is like going to make so many Slurpees, Mr. White.
KO, what the hell are you talking about?
You know, crystals, Mr. White. They're blue, like Slurpees.
KO, what is wrong with your brain? How do you even function like that?
It's just like science, bro. Yeah, science!
Okay, whatever. Yes, we're making Slurpees. Now get your gear on and let's cook.
Overall, at the end of the day, KO the Kangaroo lived up to my own expectations, but kind of in a way exceeded them. I expected going into this title to at least get some enjoyment out of it, but I didn't think I would have this much fun with it if I'm being honest here. While not being perfect, sure, with the enemies freezing, sky hitbox being broken sometimes, jumping momentum not always working with the player properly, this game still leaves you with a good feeling inside from start to finish. It's funny, it's charming, the design of its characters, enemies, and world feels thought out and realized. The music is fantastic and reminiscent of classic platformers from the 90s and early 2000s. Its platforming feels fun alongside the creative environments, hazards, and puzzles. Everything just looks and screams fun to me. At this point in time, I can easily say this is my favorite collectathon of 2022 at this current stage of the year, and if you're a fan of classic platformers and just feel like having a good time, I cannot recommend this one enough. I think you're in for a real treat personally. So with all that having been said, my verdict is clear. GameNChick says bye now. Hey everyone, thanks for watching! I really hope you enjoyed that review, and I look forward to bringing more to you in the coming future. For new people, feel free to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like or share, and for people already subscribed, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you do not miss out on any future content upload. Also, feel free to click on my other reviews linked above, because they're kinda cool too. So, give them a look! Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch all you chickadees on the next one. Quack!